Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Coming up this week, rumor has it that Disney might be getting ready to start charging a nightly resort fee. Prices for the Disney dining plan have gone up, and Disney has a new mobile video game coming out, and I'll admit it, I'm excited. Plus, we'll have our review of Club Villain at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and I will tell you what I thought of the Voodoo Sticky Pig Wings. All that coming up next. From the Bob Barley Studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged, episode 877 for the week of March 15th, 2016. The Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, coming to you from the Bob Barley Studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friends, Kathy Whirling.
Hi, everybody.
Jenny Lynn Knopp.
Hey, guys.
Steve Porter.
Hello.
Rhino Clavin.
Hello.
And back in the nook all by his lonesome, our producer, Craig Williams.
Just as it should be.
All by himself.
Just as it should be.
There's that song.
All by myself.
Wow.
It's very Tiny Tim of you.
I'm pretty sure the dog just barked. Speaking of which, there's there's another member of the crew in the studio right now who cannot be on camera because she's under the table. Jackie Gailey. No, I'm kidding. It's Abigail. It's my baby girl, Abigail. This is her first time. We're letting her in the studio while we're doing a show, and she's grown up quite a bit, and so she'll lay and not be crazy while we're recording. And that's what we are doing right now. We are recording. We are not going out live. We're actually recording this on Friday, March 11th. This will be going up Tuesday, the 15th. And the reason for that is that we are working on a very special assignment the early part of next week. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I will tell you next week what it is. But we're working on something fun for some content that we're going to be putting up in April. So we needed the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, to work on this. So we are pre-recording this show today. So I'm sorry it's not live, but hopefully the content that we're going to be putting out is going to be worth the inconvenience. And the other thing I have in housekeeping is something I just posted on Facebook not too long ago, is that we are looking for a new member to the Diz team. Many of you have noticed that this year we've been producing a lot more content than we have recently, and I need another person in the production studio, somebody that can shoot video or learn to shoot video if they have a passion for it, somebody that can work the controls or learn to work the controls. So basically a job very similar to the one Craig and Rhino do. And also, they need to be able to write articles and content for the site. And I have been asked on Facebook if someone was leaving. And I wasn't really going to announce this yet because we decided we were going to wait. But in talking about it, we have decided that we might as well get it out there, that Steve Porter is going to be leaving us at the end of April.
Yep.
He's heading out to Salt Lake City.
Yep, headed out to Salt Lake City. It was a super, super hard decision. Well, it was a good decision, but it was a hard decision because this is a really great place to be. I love the Diz. But there's just things that I have to do in my life that I couldn't continue to be here anymore. So
Mormonism.
No.
I'm not touching it.
Yeah, it's my girlfriend lives in Salt Lake, and there's lots of reasons why. I just felt like as much as I love this job, I had to kind of
follow that.
Had to follow my heart.
Yep.
Yep.
And
We're all gonna start crying right now.
Oh, Steve.
When Steve came and told me about this a few weeks ago, I was certainly disappointed to hear that he was leaving, but when he told me why, exactly what I said to you was, this is the time in your life to do that, because in 10 years, not going to be so easy to drop everything and follow your heart. You get more rooted in your career, your home, and things like that. And, you've got such a great head on your shoulders, so much talent. You've been such an amazing part of this team.
Thank you.
In a very, very short time. And, really sorry to see you go, but you go with our blessing and the wind at your back. And like I said to you before, I will always find a place for you here. Always find a place for you here. I hate losing you, but I was already on the fence about hiring a third person. I kind of knew. I'd said to Craig back in November when we were planning, like doing the daily fix every day and some of the other things that we were planning to do, that I'm probably going to need a third person in the studio. But I was kind of on the fence with it. And then when Steve told me he was leaving, I'm like, okay, that's a sign from the universe that I need to bring somebody else in. So while I am really, really sorry that we're losing Steve, and you did promise you're still going to write.
Yeah, I will still be writing articles. I don't know what my job situation will be like, so hopefully I'll be able to write them often, but
at least 3 or 4 a day. That's all I'm looking for. But so yes, we are looking for someone to come join the team. So if it is something you think you might be interested in, and you do have to be in Orlando for this, I need somebody here in the studio. So this is not a long distance job. Not something you can't shoot in the parks from Chicago. If you can, that's an amazing trick, and I'd love to know how you do it. But if you are in the Orlando area and you are a big Disney fan, you have to be a big Disney fan. I don't care so much if you're a fan of the show. I care that you're a big Disney fan. That has a passion for working with video or experience working in video, the ability to write in full sentences with punctuation, to be doing content on the site. Send your resume to pete@wdwinfo.com, along with any samples of your work, any samples of your writing, any samples of your video. I can tell you I put this up on Facebook about an hour ago, and I've gotten about 20 resumes already. And but we're going to keep taking them in and then start interviewing people in the next week or so. Not looking to bring anybody on till later in April, early May timeframe. So got some time here. So send in your resume. Very rare that you hear me do this. I don't think I've ever put out the call on the show.
Yeah, I don't ever remember it.
I've done it on Facebook. That's how we found Craig, actually. Craig's sister was friends with me on Facebook. And she said, you better apply for this job.
Yep, that's my origin story.
And,
Trolling Facebook.
Not as good as Spider-Man's, but still decent.
Okay, well, we have to get the Spider-Man reference in, apparently.
It's for Rhino.
But yeah, this morning I'm just like, you know what? Let's put it out there and see what happens. And so got some very, very interesting, some very good candidates already submitted resumes, some people I'm excited to meet with. So yeah, Pete@wdwinfo.com. Send me your resume, send me some samples of your work. And even if you've never really worked with the equipment that we work with here, if there's a passion for it and you have technical skills, we can train you on that. Same with video. If you have put together some videos for yourself, even if you're using an iPhone to do it, but you have a passion for it, we can teach that. We can't teach passion. We can teach technique, but we cannot teach passion. So that needs to be there. That's also why it's important that people be Disney fans. We've gone that route before, where we've hired people who had good technical experience but weren't Disney fans. They don't last here. They don't let. If you're not crazy Disney nerd, you're not. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work, because you can't tolerate being around this many people who are poring over the minutia of everything that happens at Disney with a passion the way we do, and not want to kill us if you're not one of us. So that's what we're looking for. Pete@wdwinfo.com. With that. I don't have a synopsis from Tom. Did he send one to you?
Well, we can get to there. First, we really should talk about the Dream Show because that goes up. That's not live on Sunday nights, but I do know what the Dream Show is about this week, so that makes it easier on my life. This week is the first of two parts of a really good question and answering session that the Dream Show crew all went through. So that will be available to watch and download to listen to on Monday. Yes, Monday morning.
The 14th.
And while Tom is sitting here frantically trying to text me what the show is about because we forgot to ask him.
No, I sent him an email and he didn't answer me.
Never mind then. He is bad at life.
He's a bad man.
But I can tell you that
Bad touch, Tom.
Thursday at 1 o'clock p.m., the Universal Edition will be going live. And this week, we're obviously this coming Thursday is St. Patty's Day. So we're going to celebrate by checking out Finnegan's at Universal Studios, Florida. So.
When I was drinking, that was like my favorite place in a theme park to go drink. And I had some nights in there. I don't miss it. But Finnegan's has a special place in my little alcoholic heart.
No, I'm very excited to take a look at it with everyone else, and hopefully we'll have some good things to say about it. But definitely for the Disneyland show live on Sunday nights at 7 o'clock Pacific time, 10 o'clock Eastern time, you can listen to Michael continuing his celebration of Disneyland's 60th with a look at Disneyland after Walt. Of course, that's live on Mixlr along with their news show, and then both of them will be available to download in the morning via iTunes. So go ahead and pay attention to all those shows.
Awesome. And just want to remind everybody, every weekday, noon Eastern time, The Fix with either Jenny Lynn or myself. You can find that on the Daily Fix main page on the Diz, wdwinfo.com/dailyfix, or, of course, on the Diz YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/wdwinfo. And does anybody else have anything for housekeeping?
No.
No?
Well, kind of. I talked about it on the Universal show, but a gentleman, Caleb, sent us the stickers.
Oh, yeah.
You've
Cut
got
to me.
a cool one on
To me. This guy, Caleb, you're like one of my new favorite people. Voodoo Sticky Pig Wings, baby. This was so cool.
Yeah.
It's a really nice sticker, too. So thank you very much for that, Caleb. Also appreciated your story.
Yeah.
And was really, I love, I don't love hearing stories like that. I just love to know that what we do here help,
There's an emotional connection there.
Sometimes it can, we hear stories all the time where people are going through a rough time, and listening to the show helps connect them with something they love. And, I tell these guys all the time, every time we're having a rough day, remember that. So thank you for sharing that with us. And thank you very much for that sticker. It's like, obviously a place of great importance. It's on my Mac, right above the alien. So
I got a Crino one over here. Craig got one as well.
Yes, I did.
There you go. That's his business is called Kavana Customs. Kava.
Oh, put a link to it in the show notes page.
Okay, good. Okay.
Just send it to me.
All right.
But
Good
awesome.
guy.
Anything else? All right, let's move on with the news. The first story I want to talk about today is that Disney raised the price on the Disney dining plan. Well, I guess I should say last week, because it will be last week when this goes up. Nothing changed in terms of what's offered in the dining plans. It was just the price. For example, the quick service plan went from $42.84, that includes tax, for adults, to $44.13. The regular dining plan went from $61.84 to $63.70 for adults, and that's per night per adult. And the deluxe dining plan went from $111.73 per adult per night to $115.08. So in the grand scheme of things, these aren't huge increases. And if you utilize the dining plan fully, it's still a good deal. But you got to eat a lot of food. And even at my even at my heaviest, I wouldn't be able to eat the amount of food that you'd have to eat to make it worthwhile. There are people who do, and God bless you. And the ones that really piss me off are the ones who can eat all that food and they're like a stick figure.
Yes.
And though I have a massive resentment against. But, generally speaking, I think this was met with, okay, well, yeah, okay. I don't think people were particularly up in arms about it.
I think it helps that it unlike the ticket prices, when the ticket prices go up, if you're going to go to the park, you have to pay that increase. You don't have to get the dining plan to have a Disney vacation. So if the prices go up, you just can decide, okay, then I'm not going to get the dining plan. I think that might be the reason why there isn't as much of an outcry.
And I thought about that the day they came out. Like, why didn't they just do this when they announced the tickets? And it's like, because everybody with the dining plan went like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't really seem to bother them. But if they had done it on the same day they did tickets, people go, look, where are they going to stop? So that was probably pretty smart on Disney's part.
It was. But then there's the other story we have to talk about. Well, we're going to be talking about the price of things potentially going up. And that is this survey, quote unquote, that some folks have been getting, where Disney is talking about potentially adding a $15 per night resort fee to cover things like Wi-Fi, Magical Express, Magic Bands, so on and so forth. And the way, according to our news story, quote, the way the survey is worded leads many to believe that what was once considered included free amenities of staying on property at Walt Disney World will now become an additional cost on a nightly basis. And although Disney has posed the question in this particular survey, there is no guarantee that a resort fee, which is common at many resorts, will actually be applied to stays at Walt Disney World. Okay, let me explain to you how this works. Yes, resort fees are commonplace in the industry. No question. Virtually, I'm not going to say all resorts, a good number of resorts do charge a nightly resort fee. This is not, unlike what Disney is saying publicly, this is not us, Disney, saying, oh, let's see how people are going to respond to this. Who the hell is going to say they think that's a good idea? Nobody. Right. Nobody. This is what's called softening the ground before the blow. This is buttering you up before the punch. This is saying, we're thinking about this and doing it in this kind of, we're just sending out a survey to see what you think. To get us all talking about it, to get the message out there, this is coming, so that when it does, it's not quite such a shock.
Everyone's desensitized already.
Exactly. Yep. Disney has learned how to manipulate social media because it's all over Twitter. It was all over Twitter. That's where this started really catching fire, was on Twitter. And so that tells me that it's exactly what Disney wanted to happen. With that said, I think that some resorts can get away with resort fees. Others cannot. What a lot of people have said that I agree with is, why are you doing this? Why not just build it into the price? When you do your next, when you raise your rack rates again, just build that into the price. Don't nickel and dime us.
Yep.
And so while Disney has become very savvy with social media, they have not become very savvy when it comes to things like this. It's that tone deafness that you're constantly criticized for this stuff. So why not do yourself a PR favor and build it into the price? Are you trying to tell people, or is it because you want people to believe that the Wi-Fi and the Magic Band and Magical Express is of a certain value? But what if I don't use the Wi-Fi? And what if I have my own Magic Band? And what if I don't use Magical Express? Am I going to be able to opt out of that $15 fee every night? And then there's the argument to be made that your prices are already too high. That the price of a stay at your resort is already too high. And now you're going to tack on another $15 a night? And at what point do you start becoming, Botchagaloop the peddler, selling everything? Here's $5, here's $10, here's $20. When does that stop? And is that the app? Is that the attitude you want? Is that the image you want? It harkens back to what we talk about when we talk about Disney Cruise Line versus Royal Caribbean. Yeah, Royal Caribbean is cheaper in terms of the direct room-to-room comparison. But there's a lot of things included with Disney Cruise Line that you pay extra for on Royal Caribbean. And that nickel and diming always puts a bad taste in my mouth. You have pushed the limits of what people will accept in pricing. You have pushed the manner in which they will accept it. They will accept year-over-year resort fee increases. They will accept begrudgingly year-over-year or sometimes twice a year-over-year increases to the ticket prices. Now you're starting to see, because how long does it stay $15? When does it go to $25? When does it go to $40? While the resort, you don't think for a second the price is the per night price of the resort's going to go down. That's going to continue to go up as well. So this is, I don't have, look, I understand the need to offset costs. I get that. Doing it like this, you're just painting an even worse picture and showing that you're tone deaf. You're tone deaf if you do something like this. Build it into the price. Don't talk about it. Just build it into the price. And this way, you're not going to have that pushback from people. You're not going to have people feeling nickeled and dimed on a vacation they're already spending a great deal of money on. And you get your needs met, and you don't further aggravate your highest affinity group.
I think what bothers me is by not including it in a price increase, is that it feels like it's going beyond inflation. Like they're not just increasing the prices because it's more expensive to run the resort. It just seems like the way to add $15 just seems, like you said, nickel to dime. It just feels like another way that they can just make you pay a little bit more. Not really because they have to because of their own cost, but just because they can. And that's what really bothers me. And I'm actually working on an article, so that will eventually come.
Well, look, again, I'm gonna take a certain tact in terms of that's capitalism. When you have a successful product, when your resorts are 90% full, when your theme parks are posting year-over-year growth, you raise the prices. That's supply and demand. And so I get that part of it. It's how you go about doing it. At what point do you start to say, yeah, how we appear to our guests, what image our guests take away from their experience with us matters as well. So, don't poke the bear and get your needs met at the same time. Just build a damn resort fee into your next price increase and let that be that.
Well, I think I'm not opposed to price increases when the tickets go up or the dining plan going up. That doesn't bother me one bit because, like you said, it's where we live in a capitalist country. No problem there. It's when you get reminded that you're in the real world when you're in Disney World, when you have to pay for rumored preferred parking coming or this $15 fee. It's the constant reminder that you're not
it's a constant reminder that they're trying to get more money from you.
Yeah.
Would you like to have preferred parking for $35? You're going to need to pay for that beverage now at your Be Our Guest breakfast.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to have your $15 resort fee tonight, or whatever it is. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
My thing that bothered me about this is Disney made a big deal about how they were putting Wi-Fi in so everybody could use My Disney Experience. So they created a demand for Wi-Fi.
And then charge for it.
And now they're turning it around and they're charging you for it.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Here's the other thing. If you're going to charge $15 a night for your Wi-Fi, it needs to get a whole lot better.
Right.
Amen.
Right.
It needs to get a whole lot better. And if you're going to do it, you better give people the ability to opt out. You better give people the ability to opt out because a lot of resorts do that too. when they say, I don't want my USA Today, or I don't want the Wi-Fi, or, you better give people the ability to opt out. But
Or the Magical Express was set up so that they could keep the people on property. I just wonder how many people then are going to say, well, if they're going to charge me this resort fee, I can stay off property somewhere.
right, if I'm staying for 6 nights and I'm going to pay, what is that, $90?
Yeah.
I'm paying $90 and I'm getting Magical Express for that $90. Why shouldn't I use a town car? Mm-hmm. Why shouldn't I use other transportation where I don't have to be bussed and stop at 3 resorts before I get to mine? So I don't know. I again, people are thinking this is Disney finding out whether or not people will accept this. It's not. It's basically a pre-announcement.
Right.
That's what this is. It's coming, folks. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're just softening the ground. That's what that announcement was about.
And back to the dining plan stuff, just to reassure people, if you've already got a reservation, your price is not going to go up. It's only if you make a change that they would now charge you the higher
Right.
rates. The same thing like with the tickets. As long as you don't make any changes when you show up, you're good to go. It's not like they're going to give you an extra
not
bill.
retroactive.
Yeah.
So, all right. Last news story that I want to talk about is this new, and I've only just seen some trailers for it, so maybe somebody knows a little bit more about this than I do. This new Magic Kingdoms game coming to mobile devices.
They talked about it at D23 in the video game panel I went
It
to.
looks so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's basically, it looks like theme park, like a theme park simulator.
Yeah, you
but
build your own thing.
You build your own
Oh,
Disney
wow.
theme park
Yeah.
on your mobile device. It's been nice. It's been nice spending time with you people. I'm not going to see you for a while. I'm going to lose my mind.
I'm surprised it took this long to come out because they announced it in August, and I figured it was coming out like right afterwards, and now it's March that it's finally here. But I
I don't think it's been released yet.
No, I don't think so. But
Do we know what the release date is?
There currently isn't a release date for it. They just they started the registration process for it. So these games are wildly popular right now on mobile devices. They all kind of started with the architecture like that you had in SimCity all the way back in the day on a PC, and then it's kind of changed and fluctuated. But it's a really fun type of system to just play on mobile, and as you build new stuff, then you start getting more points for how long it's operating and people coming in, so that'll allow you to buy more rides and attractions and then food stands, all that kind of stuff. But the thing I think is really cool about this one, just from the concept art they showed, is that, or from the trailers and the concept art, is that you actually will be able to put in the Disney icons and attractions.
Yeah,
so they showed Monsters Inc. Laugh 4, where there was Mike Wazowski, who was actually like dancing and bouncing around in front of the building, and Mickey's Fun Wheel of Death and California Screamin'. So this really could be very, very cool and very, very
I think it's going to be,
time-consuming.
if they do the same level of work with this game that we've seen them do with other games, especially Infinity, this is going to be huge.
yeah,
This will be huge. And it's Gameloft. It's not Disney Interactive. It's Gameloft that's doing this with Disney as a mobile.
Is there a
game.
price to it?
Not that
It's going to be like most mobile games now. It's going to be free, but then if you want to buy extra
In-app
coins,
purchases.
extra
Oh,
things,
okay.
then
Yeah, because they're
spend
saying
money.
interested gamers can now register for the game and share the game site to Facebook to start earning currency that can be used later in Magic Kingdoms.
just
so,
like the real Magic Kingdom. Yeah, keeping it
but
very
just
authentic.
if only I could pay that resort fee by sharing stuff on Facebook. Oh wait, I already do. But you get the point. But
Yeah.
it's really cool. It looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it. I cannot wait for this to come out.
So correct me, is it like Roller Coaster Tycoon type?
It's
Yeah.
in that vein, yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you've downloaded Roller Coaster 4 Tycoon 4 for mobile, it's going to be exactly like that. The only thing that you're losing is, like in Roller Coaster Tycoon, you can actually customize the coasters and build your own. This is just going to be managing.
Got it. Cool.
Really? Because it looked like in that trailer like they had a roller coaster going through Cinderella Castle or something.
From what I understood, you weren't going to be able to customize. Maybe something different was announced, though.
Since we're recording this? Is there any
I
way?
I have the actual audio from the D23 on my computer.
Well, no, I'm saying, is there any way that we can splice in the trailer video?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so we'll have we'll put the trailer video in here. Wasn't that awesome? Doesn't it look great? All right, so that is going to do it for the news. We're going to move on to rapid fire, and we'll start with the lovely and talented Ms. Kathy Whirling.
Well, Disney Cruise Line has announced that, yes, no surprise, there is going to be Star Wars Day at Sea again for
Very successful.
2017. Yes. There's 15 sailings where last year there was only 7. It's going to be for the Western and Eastern, but they did a better job this time of explaining what you're going to get. And it's one day of everything Star Wars. Character meet and greets, deck parties, movie screenings, specialty foods, beverages, and merchandise, fireworks, and more. Where last year it was like, oh, you're going to see celebrities roaming the decks, and they sort of overhyped it and underpromised.
Okay. Underdelivered.
Underdelivered, yes. So Carl Holt says that our guests keep telling us that Star Wars Day at Sea is an experience they'll never forget, that it's a thrill of intergalactic proportions.
Oh, God.
So,
Is that how he
came up and was
talks?
like,
Yeah.
Sir, I'd like to register some feedback. I'd like you to know that this was an experience of intergalactic proportion. I would laugh right in that person's face.
yeah. So
You were the one who left that feedback.
They got my note.
So, of course, you can always contact Dreams for a no obligation quote, and we'll set you up with a Star Wars
Actually, you
cruise.
can contact Kathy Whirling. Kathy at Dreams Unlimited Travel.
Kathy
W.
Kathy W. at Dreams
Yes, I had to
Unlimited
think there
Travel.
for a minute. Yes,
And she'll be more than happy to set you up for your Star Wars
Yes.
Day at Sea sailing.
it would be fun. So you could have, what was it again? An unforgettable.
An unforgettable intergalactic travel agent to help you.
Oh, right. Now that we're done plugging Dreams. Thank you, Kathy. Jenny Lynn.
Dreams Unlimited Travel. The throwback to Universal this past week.
Yes. Okay, my rapid fire is that Joy and Sadness are coming to Character Spot in Epcot next month. So we're all very excited about that. You'll be meeting in the headquarters of Riley's Memory. And that's kind of it. The end.
The end.
They're joining Mickey, Minnie, and Goofy and Baymax. Well, Baymax is across the walkway, but yay.
Okay. Thank you, JL.
Cool.
Steve.
Oh, I have to get my thing. Okay. Personalized screens added to the end of It's a Small World attraction. So at the very end, where it used to say just like goodbye and adios, there's now screens that say goodbye to your family or family members. And this is part of the Story Maker experience, in which they use the RFID in your Magic Band to see your name. And it's also rumored that this might come to characters like Talking Mickey.
Oh, so he'll be like,
He'll greet you by name.
I am
hello, Steve
so
Porter
excited
family.
about this. Seriously, like this is the cool part of the Magic Band, and it's finally happening. So-
Yeah, I think it's really exciting. I think some people might think it's a little invasive that Mickey might know your name, but
yeah, some people get creeped out
wait, the
by it.
Dark Cloud has to speak. Hold on.
Yes, the Dark Cloud has to speak. The one thing I think right away though is what happens whenever you have that real like snotty person or something that's like with Steve, like, oh, it's not, my name's not Steven, it's Stefan.
oh, when like Mickey says it wrong.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think that's, I mean, you're going to run into a lot
Well,
of...
then Mickey should just slap him.
Now, see, I'm sort of where Craig is. I like
These are dark times.
when a cast member goes out of their way to say, "Hi, how you doing? Have a nice day." Not when they look at their screen and go, "Hi, Kathy, how are you today?" I've had that happen. It's like I'd rather have a heartfelt thing. And then I also see people that go, if they wish Craig and Rhino,
But you don't have a
goodbye,
magic
but
band.
they don't say goodbye to you. I can see people in their boat going, little Johnny's going to be upset because their name didn't get mentioned. So it's
Well,
like
he should
they're-
learn to live with disappointment and
Well,
get a
maybe
magic
that's
band.
what they're learning. But
It's
I
a
don't
life
know.
lesson.
I kind of see what Kathy's saying, though. It's like they're taking away the personalized experience because they can just make this animated robotic version.
For me, it's just kind of like
robots.
I'm all for interacting with robots. I don't know. It's kind of cool.
Robots.
the robots.
Seriously.
It reminds me of the ET attraction, and I always like it when ET says goodbye to me.
I
So
like
don't
it, but
know.
you do the proper legwork for ET. You give your name, and then it transfers over to the passport, and it's all in good fun. How is my ride experience on Small World going to be plussed? That now my name pops up on a screen. I mean, I'm sure
Right.
there's simple people out
Because
there
you get to
who.
the end.
Oh, damn.
Because you get to the end and you're like, oh, there's my name. That's
No, I
how-
want to go ride with Craig because I agree.
Oh,
with
yeah, the
him.
bitter boat. Okay.
Party of two.
For me, it has nothing to do with any of that. It's just I don't know. Like, okay, the sign at Small World, that's cool. But like Mickey addressing me by name, there's something that creeps me out about it. There's just something that
Hello,
creeps me out
Peter.
about
Yeah,
it.
that would.
I've seen you
that-
all day.
Yeah, that would probably scare me. I understand that part, but I think the thing with the small world is pretty cool. I don't know. I'm excited about it, guys. I think this is the cool part of the Magic Band. If you got to wear that annoying thing around your wrist, like, this is the fun stuff.
I'll be waiting to see how long it takes people to manipulate the system because you can make your magic band have the
yeah.
nickname. So if you can nickname and hit it just right, you could get him to say a certain event,
Is that
words.
how it works though? Because even if you give your I have certain ones.
No, because my head's going there already. No, that
I
would
was
be,
my
This is
I
my
have
friend,
magic.
Murder Warner.
I was gonna say I have magic bands that say "mom" on them rather than my name Jenny, but it's attached to my profile that has my name.
So why can't you,
You could
just
just
change your
in the
name?
profile.
Right.
It didn't ask for my driver's license when I registered for it.
It's sort of the same thing when they welcome you on the Disney ships, and people have a whole little thing. We welcome the, some of the names.
I
Right.
hate that
Family.
part.
I hate it. I tell them no. I tell them no. You're not doing that. I'm not. Stop.
But you see on the Diz, there's loads of people that say, well, what do you think about this one or that? I mean, people put a lot of effort into.
God bless them. I don't need to be introduced. If you don't
don't
already
read, I
know
read
me,
too.
I don't want to talk to you. So,
He's great at making new friends.
all right. So, who was that? Steve? That was yours?
Yeah, that was mine.
All right.
Started the
Thank you, Steve.
controversy.
Rhino.
Okay, so mine is in case you missed it. Well, today's Tuesday, so hopefully you've seen it by now. The Captain America Civil War trailer came out, and it had our first look at Spider-Man. In the end of it, the Spider-Man who is now part of Marvel's cinematic universe, the Disney side of the business, and yeah. So there's also a meet and greet coming to California Adventure starting April 2nd, where you're going to meet Captain America and Spider-Man. And when I saw that, I was thinking to myself, well, is it going to be classic Spider-Man costume, or is it going to be Spider-Man from this new movie? And then this trailer came out, so I don't know if it was one of those they knew they were releasing the trailer, so they had to show the suit, or if they wanted people to see the movie suit versus being like the internet.
Okay. You are the only one who cares what suit he's wearing.
I had a very
Because you
long
need to know.
conversation
You
about
need
this
to
last night with
know
somebody.
whether or not you have to get new Spider-Man pajamas.
Yeah. And from the looks of it, I'm probably okay still. I mean, I don't have those zooming eyes or anything, but my
Yeah.
PJs are going to be okay. Yeah, not yet. Soon.
Okay. All right. Thank you,
Great
Spider-Man. And Gregory.
So I have two.
And why is the okay? There we go. And
There it is.
why is your camera?
You look like you're glow in the dark right now.
Well, he's glow in the dark and he's on an angle.
No, I'm just tilted in how I'm sitting.
No, the entire house apparently is tilted.
Whoa, when did that happen?
Well, single.
Cole.
So I have two. The first of mine is that reservations are now open for Minnie's Springtime Dine.
Oh, great.
So yeah, they had to continue before. What was the crappy one we went to?
Oh, that was the
Award one.
the award
Yeah,
one.
the award. So now it's the Springtime with Hitler Dine, and, which I made a slide for, and I wasn't sure if it was way too inappropriate to use.
Put it up.
I mean, I lost the punch now. I'm sure someone would have noticed. Yeah, so I'm
Springtime for Hitler.
Well, he is a
Now,
star.
before anybody sends us emails, Springtime for Hitler is from the producers, the Mel Brooks movie and the play of the same name. That was the play that was produced. They were trying to lose money. They were trying to get it to close in a night, and so it's from that. We're not
We're not promoting Nazism.
No, we're not promoting white supremacy. Well, Craig maybe. I don't know. He's so, the dark cloud. Who knows?
Well, my next one is a little bit happier. It is that a little bit of changes are coming to the 2016 Disney Wine and Dine Half Marathon. So it's taking place November 3rd through the 6th, and they always have the holiday-themed 5K, which Kathy loves running. I know that. And the half marathon, which unfortunately for a lot of people is being moved to the morning instead of at night, how it was before. But they are adding in a 10K to the event, too. The Wine and Dine 10K with Chef Remy hosting it. So I'm running my first half marathon with Run Disney in April with the Star Wars one.
Oh, cool.
So I might be interested in doing the 10K, though, for this one and experience it. I like the idea of doing another inaugural event. But so for Run Disney fans, there's a little bit extra there. And because they like to bundle these races together, you can do the 10K and the half marathon to complete Lumiere's 2-course challenge. And then you get 3 medals out of the entire thing, and that's it. So registration opens up on March 29th, 2016 at noon Eastern Time if you want to participate.
Awesome. Thank you, Craig. All right, let's move on. We are going to talk about Club Villain at Disney's Hollywood Studios. The team and I were over there this past Tuesday, or actually 1 week ago today, to experience it. Before we get started, Rhino has put together a video of the event. So here it is.
Finally, my quest for Voodoo Sticky Pig Wings. But are they any good?
Bam! Buckle up, Buttercup, because we're in for one electrifying ride. Make sure to check your morality at the door, because this place ain't filled with pixie dust or wishing stars. Let me intro to you the intoxicating tunes of Thibodeau, Club Villain's tantalizing DJ. Papa Thibodeau, rock it to me with what you got. Hey. Hey.
I'm about to throw up my Voodoo Sticky Pig Wings.
This is one doctor you don't want filling your prescriptions. He puts the ow in shadow. He puts the ooh and cool. And when he's through with you, you'll see he's nobody's fool. Please, I give to you the Shadow Man.
I got voodoo. I got voodoo.
But does he have the shirt?
And I got friends, oh yeah.
Well, next guest has a fight that's worth the money. Any human beast, the vampire act. She goes in for the kill, the delirious, whoever there.
I had no idea the Lady Chablis was going to be here.
Coming on next, the purest reflection of wickedness. Evil Queen!
Turn it around. It's a good crowd. It's huge, isn't it?
Yes.
And it's so heavy. Oh my word. It's amazing. Thank goodness I can keep up my strength being so petite and dainty, you know.
Of course, yeah.
You don't understand what I say with this gigantic crowd.
That's it.
Broken. How did you guys look like this? Wait, yes, I've never lost. Never lost. Oh, hi. Welcome. Anytime. Find a flamingo to bring them over here. Absolutely. Tonight. I'll keep that right now. I'll be right here. Be back. You're welcome. Have a magical day.
I put a spell on you because you're mine. Alright!
It's time to get what you came for. It's time to get what you needed. It's time to learn the dance of the Shadow Man. Hands up! All right! Gumbo, gumbo in the pot. You better get yourselves on the dance floor and show me what you got.
All right, let's do the shadow dance. I'm gonna need a few volunteers. Hopefully, we like to get this entire dance floor filled up. First dance move is called the Bayou Stroll. Starts like this. Just follow me in the stick and jar. The Bayou Stroll. All right, what's this one called? Bayou Stroll. That pot of gumbo. This was my favorite one. This is my favorite one. Look at Thibodeau. Thibodeau, do the thing. Do the thing, Thibodeau. What's that one called? Stir the gumbo, that's right. Next up we have
Stir the gumbo, Steve.
Voodoo hands. Right? Voodoo hands. Now we're gonna add a slide with it. You just follow us,
picture,
all right?
come on.
I can do that one. Voodoo hands. Slide. Voodoo hands. All right, next up we have our dragon claws. Pointed to Cruella, dragon claws, and then switch. And then dragon claws, switch. What's that one called? Step, touch, jambalaya jam. Step, touch,
This is too difficult.
Jambalaya jam. Step, touch to the front, jambalaya jam. Are you guys ready to put it to some music? Oh, hold your horses. Mystic and Charm's gonna show you how it's done. Mystic and Charm, you ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, to the left, to the right. Tap it out now, y'all. 1, 2, 1, 2, slide with your voodoo hands to the right and to the left. Here we go, we got him in the palm of our hand. Let's get it. Now watch me whip. Hey! Now watch me nay. Let's go, come on. Now watch me whip. Hey! Watch me nay. Watch me whip.
we have determined two things without question. Steve Porter is very straight and very white.
Watch me. Okay.
You want to see a magic trick? You want to see a magic trick?
Yeah.
Now you see it? Now you don't.
Nothing left. My heroes have the heart to live their lives out on the edge. But I remember was thinking I want to be like them. Join the race. Yeah, it's the tragedy, y'all. Here we go. Join the singing line, yeah. Come on. Don't think twice now. You better get over there. All right. Yes, have some fun. Time to have some fun. Woo!
Just walking is just kind of seems lame, kind of.
We did not get our top off. Yeah, 3. We got it for 3.
Oh my God, Cap is dancing. Oh.
Why isn't Greg dancing?
That's a great question. Why isn't he?
Why?
Oh, he broke it. He broke it. He broke it. He broke it. Jeez, darn it. That's what broken dreams look like.
Yeah, what
That's
happened?
a terrible angle. Put your job.
You got a light from above.
I haven't as much as this. It's overwhelmed by being
Ladies and friends, we hope you guys enjoyed your time here at Club Village. You know, as they say, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Oh, we ain't done yet. Come on. I'll be singing Sean, go get 'em, baby. Club Village is officially closed. Get out.
Okay, so we just walked out of the Club Villain party, and everybody,
Fantastic.
yeah,
10 out of 10.
thumbs up for sure.
Okay, I go into these things now expecting to be ripped off. So not the case with this. I am blown away by how good this was. The food was good. It wasn't phenomenal. The entertainment beyond anything I've seen in a very, very long time at Disney. The characters were phenomenal. The guy who was singing was ridiculously talented. This was a lot of fun. I swear to God, I give this a 9.5 out of 10. That's how good I thought this was. This is something you need to do. It's absolutely worth $129. And $99 for annual pass holders through March. But we're hearing that they're going to extend it through May. So, yeah. But, absolutely.
Wow, great video, Rhino. You really outdid yourself
Yeah,
that
we're
time.
putting this stuff in post-production. That's why we're making the joke. Because the video's not ready as we're
Oh, you're
filming.
assuming it's going to be terrible?
No, I'm just saying that we're putting it in post-production. We didn't actually just watch your video. We're making believe we did, but we really didn't.
It was a great video.
So let's talk about it. I'm sure it was.
Okay.
Because it was certainly a great event. Before we get into the review, let me just give the specifics. Right now, they have confirmed dates for this through March. They are saying, though, that they are going to continue it probably through May, is what we were hearing. Through March, annual pass holders and Disney Vacation Club members get a discounted rate of $99, which includes tax and gratuity. If you're not an annual pass holder or a DVC member, it's a $129. Right now, it's Tuesday and Saturday evenings, although we're hearing that once it extends past March, it's only going to be Saturday nights. This is a specially ticketed event. It requires admission to the park. It's hosted by Dr. Facilier, and he's joined by Maleficent, Queen of Hearts, Cruella de Vil, and the Evil Queen. You get stage show musical numbers, a house DJ, meet and greets with the characters, dancing, drinks from the Potions Bar, and New Orleans specialties to eat. Some menu items include beef strip loin rubbed with herbes de Provence, voodoo sticky pig wings with citrus gremolata, and spicy shrimp sautéed with andouille sausage, tomato, okra, and onions over a creamy polenta. And you can make reservations for this by calling 407-939-3463. That's 407-WDW-DINE. So, with those specifics out of the way, I can tell you something. I went into this, first of all, I was in a bad mood driving down because the traffic on I-4 sucked. That wasn't the only reason, but that was part of it. So I was in a bad mood, and usually, if I'm going to, I got to try and check myself. If I'm in a bad mood, it's going to make doing a review that much more challenging. Because I got to try and get myself out of the bad mood, so I'm not letting that affect my experience. But I was kind of going in. And then add to the fact, I was able to get it for $99, but I was still looking at it from the standpoint of $129 a person. I'm like, no way is this going to be worth $129. This is another event I'm going to walk out of and feel that I just got ripped off. Oh my, I could not have been more wrong. This was phenomenal. Phenomenal. The entertainment was phenomenal. The characters were phenomenal. The venue was phenomenal. The food was good and better than good. I'm not going phenomenal on the food. But it was all you could drink. I mean, so
phenomenal.
If you're not driving and but I always think like I'm going to get ripped off there because I don't drink.
Right.
So I'm paying this $129. Doesn't matter that I didn't have any alcohol. Between the food, the entertainment, the character interaction, absolutely worth every penny.
For some reason, that picture, it looks like I'm poking out of a curtain. like I'm not actually part of the group.
Stalker.
Well, you are leaving this. So let's break this down. I want to talk about the entertainment first. So you have Dr. Facilier, who I said to Rhino, oh, look, it's the Lady Chablis. They didn't tell me she was going to be here. Go watch Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil or look up the Lady Chablis, and if you don't get the joke. But he was very good, actually. He was very good as MC, did a great job as Dr. Facilier.
Well, is he the MC or is the other guy the MC? Or is it like
no, he's the host, so...
Oh, okay.
But it was a very weird dynamic where Dr. Facilier clearly was the front and center, but the real talent was actually his kind of sidekick host that did all of the singing. And
I don't know what this guy's name was, either as in character or in real life, but I'm going to tell you something. This guy could have done Broadway.
Yeah.
When I tell you a voice that just shook the room.
He was unbelievable.
He had great range. And not
only that, but I mean, he was moving around and doing all these dances while he was singing, and just
Right.
the choreography of it while he was singing. I was so impressed. And, you know, we're all busy working during this thing. We're tweeting, we're taking pictures, we're taking video. There were a lot of times where I just had to stop.
You have to stop.
I had to
Right.
stop what I was doing because he's just that mesmerizing.
Well, I mean, let's
thought
talk
it was
about
fantastic.
the confidence it takes to pull off an orange shirt with purple shoes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Super
right there.
shiny jacket.
I wanted that jacket.
Yeah.
The jacket was really
Yeah.
cool.
And on the back, it's got that
Big
skull,
sugar skull.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big sugar skull.
Katie thought he might have done the Tarzan show over at Animal Kingdom, like back in the day.
Well,
Because
wha-
she's heard him before.
I'll tell you, he was crazy good.
Yes.
Crazy good. I think I will take one or two of, because I shot a couple of his numbers. I may go ahead and put them up on our Facebook page independently of Rhino's video so you guys can see how amazing this man was. Just phenomenal.
I have to say the selection of songs that they had them perform, I actually really enjoyed too. Because sometimes I feel like it can come off a little cheesy because you're like, oh, villains, and they kind of like overdo it. Where I feel like this was right on that line where it was a little campy, but the good kind, where it was like
Right.
fun campy. And so, but they sang like, I think there was the Gnarls Barkley Crazy. There was the Screaming Jay Hawkins, I Put a Spell on You. So it wasn't the Hocus Pocus version of it, but it was just like, that song was the one where like I had to stop and watch. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was
Brilliant.
You know, great. And, you know, I'd almost be like, it'd be worth it just to go again to watch him just do those numbers again.
So the entertainment, honestly, I don't remember the last time I was this entertained at a hard ticket party.
Yeah, I went in with a bad attitude too because we've done some things we
You
did
always
that-
have a bad attitude.
Well, no, usually I'm pretty easy to please, but when we did that villains event a couple years ago, that they had them up on the stage, and then we spent all evening trying to get in a line to meet the characters.
Villains Unleashed.
I still had that in the back of my head, and so I went in with a bad attitude. But when they started dancing and singing and just everything, this is what made Disney great.
Right, exactly. You're absolutely
when
right.
Disney is, doing it.
This is Disney at their
Yeah.
This is Disney
You
at their
can't do
best.
it any better.
Right.
This
Yeah.
party was Disney at their best, no question.
Yeah, for
sure.
And you talk about the characters. That was the Villains Unleashed party was absolutely a disaster. In terms of they had hours long waits for the characters, and a lot of people disappointed.
I think it was over 2 hours to see Maleficent.
Yeah,
They organized this really well, though,
this was incredible.
because
Yes.
we had those assigned times to meet the characters.
You
we
had-
didn't wait long at all.
They broke it up. The characters were on either side. You had Cruella de Vil and Maleficent on one side, and you had the Queen of Hearts and the Evil Queen on the other. And they, on your program with your assigned table number, because you have an assigned table number, and it tells you, you'll see the Queen of Hearts and the Evil Queen at 8:30, and you'll see Cruella de Vil and Maleficent at 9:45. And you show up at that time, and there's a PhotoPass photographer there. They'll take pictures with your camera, and the characters were. I mean, these guys were killing it.
Oh, yeah, because it wasn't like they just stood there. They interacted. They had to be exhausted when that evening was
I
over.
can't
They were
imagine.
loving it. They
Yeah.
were people that, like, when I was, walking up, I was like, those people are doing their dreams right now. Like,
Right.
that's how into it
Yes.
they are. And you're right, Kathy. Because one of them, we kind of went up and we're just like, well, can we take our picture? But she wouldn't stop. The Queen of Hearts
Yeah.
and Cruella, they both were very much
Yeah,
like
she's jumping
very
up on the
chatting with
sofa
us.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having conversation, making jokes, coming around. So even when you were just the photo, they made
they were
it.
Who was
fueling.
your-
They were fueling the interaction.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. Who was your favorite character?
Queen of Hearts for me.
Yeah,
Cruella.
Queen of Hearts for me. It's a toss up between Queen of Hearts
Yeah.
and Cruella.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm the type of person that doesn't interact well with characters, so probably Dr. Facilier, because I didn't have to talk to him.
Okay.
Now, I would say Queen of Hearts was one, although I feel like they could have found someone that looked closer to Queen of Hearts. Her personality was she was on Disneyland level of character
Yeah.
interaction.
Yeah. And
something you
that's
never see
high
often.
praise.
Yes, she was out of this world.
Yeah, because it's funny you say that, because I was thinking to myself, this is the caliber of characters we see when we're out in Disneyland. Because they have that amazing talent pool from Hollywood and Los Angeles to pull from out there. And these guys were right there.
I like that she was a face character, too,
Yes.
because when you see her in the parades and stuff, she's not a face character. So
Oh, really?
this was kind
Yeah.
of like
Oh,
a
yeah,
special
that's right,
attraction.
that's right.
Yeah, so
Big,
that was
bulbous
something
head.
cool.
Well, and I understand why, because like in the picture here that we took with her, you see she's doing this like over exaggerated frowning thing, and she would not leave that position all night. So she's going to have wrinkle issues coming up in the next couple of years by doing that so much.
They were absolutely spectacular. So again, you see, you're talking about musical entertainment was outstanding. You talk about the character interaction being absolutely outstanding.
And I think if you just sort of like broke down the parts, you could almost get your money's worth just from the character interaction. If you're into characters, I'm personally, like, that's not my make or break, but a lot of people that they got to do that with a character, they would have gotten their money's worth.
So let's talk about the food. Specifically, let me end the suspense for those who have followed along over the last few weeks and what I thought of the Voodoo Sticky Pig Wings. It's funny because, just the name got to me. And so I made a whole thing out of Voodoo Sticky Pig Wings. And there are two sides, two food stations on either side of the venue offering the exact same thing. And I went to the one side, and I'm like, okay, got to try the Voodoo Sticky Pig Wings. And I think you were filming me.
I was filming you, yeah.
And I took it, and I took a bite. I was like, oh.
It was all meh.
Yeah. Which was really disappointing. I was
Yeah.
like, I kind of
wanted to
built this
sell it.
up. I
Yeah.
wanted to love it, but it was And had some of the other food, and like the strip loin. Strip loin was good. It was a little fatty. The polenta was good, but I was just kind of disappointed, by the Voodoo Sticky Pig Wings. And then Rhino came over and said, on the other side, the Voodoo Sticky Pig Wings have like because these were kind of dry.
Sitting in juice. On
And the
side.
other ones were like really, had a lot of sauce on them, a lot of juice on
Oh, I
them.
wish I would have known that.
So he went and he got me some, and I tried them, and they were stellar.
Yeah.
They were stellar. They were so much better with that sauce on them.
Oh, wow.
And so I can report that Voodoo Sticky Pig Wings ultimately did not disappoint. I was very, very happy with them. And again, like I said, overall the food was good. It wasn't bad food at all. It was plentiful, but it wasn't like, other than the Voodoo Sticky Pig Wings, wasn't really.
See, I absolutely loved the food. As I sat there eating as much
You
rice
had
and
like.
jambalaya or whatever it was, gumbo.
Oh, the gumbo was really
yeah, the
good.
gumbo.
Yeah, chicken gumbo was really good.
I thought
That's Abby going to town on her leg. Dog.
it sounds very weird in the headphones.
I wonder if that comes through on the recording.
It came through. No,
It's not ladylike.
I like the
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
I like the prime rib style meat that they were slicing. I did only get
That was the beef strip loin.
The beef strip loin, yeah. I had the Voodoo Sticky Pig Wings on the side that you originally went to. However, by the point that I got them, there was none that were really on the top. Everything was submerged in the sauce and the juices in that bowl. So I didn't have any problem with them being dry right away. So I think that the key with those, if you're going to get them, is to try to reach to the bottom ones that have just been soaking in juice.
With your hands, yeah.
With your hands, preferably after you just coughed in your hands as well, too. But no, I loved the food. The desserts had a little bit of each.
Yeah,
They
I
were
thought the
okay.
desserts were quite good, actually.
There was two for every character, right? There was like
Yes.
2 dog related desserts. There was 2 which was like these like custard cup, right? And then the other one was
the
like
dog
The one
ones
looked like a
in there.
bone.
cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dog
it
ones were
looked
so
like
cute.
a bone. Then there was like the red velvet cupcake. The thing I liked the most in the desserts was the Maleficent cupcake, which I couldn't figure out because I normally am not crazy about Disney cupcake, but it was an angel food cupcake. That's why, and I read, so it was like a different flavor, and
an angel food cupcake with devil horns.
Yeah, and I was like, it was great. Like I loved that, the execution of it and everything, and that was really good. And the glitter Maleficent dessert too. It was like you were eating glitter. So I was back in first grade happiness.
I missed that one.
That was, or are you talking about the push pop?
No, but you loved that push pop.
I did love the push pop.
And that actually had wine in it?
It said red wine, but it didn't taste like it had wine.
No.
See, I wouldn't. I didn't take one just for that reason. I wasn't sure if it had alcohol in it. So
They also had a few good vegetarian options. Their dirty,
right, I noticed that.
Their dirty rice was actually really good, and they also had a vegetarian kale and collard slaw that I enjoyed.
I ate a lot of that.
You also,
and then they had black-eyed peas.
But you also enjoyed the vegetarian strip loin.
A few bites of it, yeah.
I actually really like that it was buffet style too, so you still get that like the hoop-de-doo. This is comparable for me to like a hoop-de-doo setting where it was like a show and dinner, and it was very enjoyable. Where here I felt like I could go up and just get a bunch of that thing I was really enjoying and not feeling very wasteful, but also kind of going back and forth, being like, I'll have a little dessert taste right now, and then I went back for the Voodoo Sticky Pig Wings again, and I don't know. It was really good, and you got to that comfort level, so you could have a drink again, and then
it was a relaxed environment. It was very much a lounge. It was very much a club, complete with the tables set up. You know, the lounge table set up alongside.
That's how it struck me. Just walking in, I didn't go in with a bad attitude, but I walked in and I was just like, oh my gosh, what have I just walked into? They had this big glitter poisoned apple disco ball at the top, and I don't know if you noticed it, but up in the top of the room there was these projections that were animated and were coordinated with the songs and everything that were going on. So there was animation on the wall where they were singing parts of the songs and along with the people down on the dance floor. And then they have the dancing, which they pulled people up, to the dance floor to participate in. To me, it felt like a family-friendly nightclub. As weird as that sounds.
Well, it's exactly what it was. And the group dancing, of course, for those who follow us on Facebook, got a chance to see Steve really bust a move.
The best part about that picture is that I'm doing the opposite of JL, so I'm clearly doing the wrong thing.
Steve was a good sport.
Yeah.
Or is JL doing the wrong thing? Because everyone else... in the
it's JL.
Might be.
JL's showing off her moves though. Miss JL can dance.
Maybe she was just a step ahead of everyone else.
I tend to go against the flow. I dance to the beat of my own drum.
I know you don't drink obviously, but what I appreciate about the event too was they had 2 different drink stations, 2 different themed drinks at each drink station, so it was 4 each, and they were each themed to a villain. So there was like I can't remember the first one.
Corolla de Vil was like a creamy
one, right?
with...
Corolla
de Vil was the creamy with the liqueur.
So it was like a Dalmatian kind of a drink, and then the other one...
poison apple drink.
Queen of
poison
Hearts
apple.
had the Bleeding Heart Sangria.
Yeah.
And then the other one was like vodka lemonade and something like purple in the bottom or something for like the evil queen. And I thought that's cool because like at Hoop-de-Doo, if I throw it back to that, it's beer, wine, sangria. And here it was like 6 different beers, like 4 or 5 different wines, and then like these 4 different mixed drinks too. So, if you're somebody who does enjoy an adult beverage, you can really get your money's worth at that table. Nothing else.
Yeah, you could do a lot of damage. I mean, obviously, only if you're staying on property and you have bus transportation.
Well, that's a great thing.
That's safe.
Disney, yeah.
But you could do a lot of damage with it being all included. And it did, just looking around the room, it didn't seem like the bartenders were really cutting anyone off.
No,
they were letting them
but
go.
then again, I didn't see anybody like stupid drunk either.
Right, no.
Except for Rhino, who fell out of his chair.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I fell out. Yeah, I fell out of the chair.
When you factor all this together, I mean, and we got there at 7:30, 7:45, and we left there at it was like 11, wasn't it?
It was
10 something.
Was it 10?
Yeah,
I thought it was.
That was 10.
Was it 10?
Yeah,
Because our last thing was 9:45, and it was 15 minutes after that is when we left.
So, I'll tell you, I walked out of there blown away. I can't recommend this highly enough, and I want to go back.
Yeah.
I want to go do it again. So if you've been thinking about this and you've been on the fence, go do it. If you haven't thought about it or if you weren't aware of it, go do it. I get the feeling this may not be around for much longer, which is a crime. I think they should.
They need to find a permanent location.
I agree,
We
yeah.
were talking on the way back. We were like, can't like they make Atlantic City Dance Hall like the permanent Club Villain? Because it just seems like sad once it goes, and I can't imagine them replacing it with anything that we enjoy this much.
I hope. Not only do I hope that they continue doing this, I hope they take this template in other themes and do it in other areas of property. Atlantic Dance Hall is a great venue. God knows something's got to be done with that because it's sad how dead that is. All the time you go in there and you got like 3 flaming alcoholics on the dance floor crying and doing what flaming alcoholics do. So this was tremendous event. I honestly can't recommend it. I can't recommend it enough. Does anybody think I'm overselling this?
No.
No, we walked out of there. All of us walked out of there laughing and smiling and just raving about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually not sure. I think I've been here almost 2 years now. I'm not sure I've ever had an experience with the whole team where everybody was like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree. I had such a great time that night. So for $99, if you're an annual pass holder or a DVC member, or $129 for everybody else, this is absolutely worth it. I would have no trouble paying $129 again for this. And I paid for it for 7 people. So, and again, felt like, yep, that's absolutely worth it. So that is what we thought of the Club Villain party at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And that is going to do it for our show. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back with you again next week with another edition of the Diz Unplugged. Thanks for being with us, everyone. And remember, go get your Voodoo Sticky Pig wings before they're all gone. And then you've never had them, and your life is lost.